The choice is upon us to work for the dunya or work for the akhirah. It would be better to lose out on this dunya than to lose out in the hereafter. If you can win in the dunya and win in the akhirah, fantastic. Nothing like it. That will be the best scenario. And that is what we pray for. When we say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina azaban nar. Oh Allah, give me good in this world and good in the akhirah and save me from the torment of the hellfire. So this is what we pray for. And we want this. We want good in dunya, we want good in akhirah. This is the best scenario. But if success in the dunya means that you become a failure in the hereafter, then this success, you can throw it aside. You can throw this success out the window if this success will cause you to become a failure in the akhirah. This is something we need to realize. Somebody offers us a job which is completely filled with riba. And although this might be a position at a very leading multinational company, and when we take that job, people will say, wow, this person got into that company, that's fantastic. But we know that this is a job which will engage you into riba, into taking interest and so on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Holy Qur'an in Surah Al-Baqarah that whoever engages in this riba, he has declared war against Allah and His Messenger. So if this is what you wish to do in this dunya, then don't do it. Because this will cause you failure in the hereafter. And believe me, you do not wish to be a failure in the life to come. We are told many examples. There are so many examples that I could narrate, and I've selected a few of them to tell you of the comparison of successful people versus those who are failures. The first one is mentioned in Surah Al-Buruj, chapter 85 of the Holy Qur'an, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says,
قتل أصحاب الأخدود النار ذات الوقود إذ هم عليها قعود وهم على ما يفعلون بالمؤمنين شهود وما نقموا منهم إلا أن يؤمنوا بالله العزيز الحميد الذي له ملك السماوات والأرض والله على كل شيء شهيد.
That self-destroyed were the owners of the ditch, of the fuel-fed fire, when they sat by it and were themselves witnesses of what they did to the believers. This verse of the Holy Qur'an, these verses of the Holy Qur'an take us back to an incident which, according to the books of the tafsir, happened in the year 523 by a tyrant Jewish king named Zunnawas. And the whole story is very lengthy, and it is given to us in a form of a lengthy hadith also. But to summarize it for you, there was a young boy who opposed this tyrant ruler, and the tyrant ruler asked him to be killed. And after trying to have him killed several times, he could not kill him. So this boy told the king that if you want to kill me, there is only one way to kill me. You wish to end my life, I am opposing you. You wish to kill me, shoot an arrow into my skull, but before you do that, say in the name of Allah, and then you'll be able to kill me. And when you do that, get everybody, all the people of the town, to witness this event. And when the people witnessed it and he killed that boy, finally, in the name of Allah, the boy died. And the people who were witness to this, they said, we disbelieve in the God of this king and we believe in the God of that boy. We all believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this tyrant ruler had his men dig a ditch, a huge ditch, and in that ditch he had huge flames of fire, burning fire. And he said to all these people, he asked for them all to be thrown into that fire and be burnt alive. And these people were in the tens of thousands, not 5, 10 or 15 people. These were in tens of thousands that he killed on that day. And one story which we also find from the books of Ahadith is that there was a boy who was in the arms of his mother, and the mother was hesitating just for a fraction of a second to jump into this fire. And this child began to speak to his mother saying that, oh mother, do not fear, Allah will take care of us. And that mother closed her eyes and she jumped into that ditch of fire. If you look at it from a worldly point of view, the Jewish king killed all of his enemies. and he was successful. And all the people who were burnt alive were the losers. This is from a worldly point of view. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the same surah, Zalikal Fawzal Kabir, that these people, they achieved a great success. Very strange. Dunya is telling us they are losers, the king is victorious. Allah is telling us Zalikal Fawzal Kabir, they got the greatest success. These people did not establish the Khilafah. These people did not build masajid or Islamic institutes or centers of learning. These people did not build hospitals. They just died on La ilaha illallah. That's all they did. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that this was the greatest success. So this should tell us what success is in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Holy Prophet ﷺ warned us, like all the messengers before him warned their ummah, of the coming of the Dajjal. And the Prophet ﷺ told us that the Masih Dajjal will present you with Jannah and Nar. He will present you with a river of cool water and a river of fire, of molten lava perhaps. But the river of cool water that he is promising is actually hellfire, and the river of Nar that he is promising is actually Jannah. Because the Dajjal is a deceiver, he is a liar, he is going to do the same thing. So in the same way, the world today is giving us a description of success which actually might be the very description of hellfire, and they are telling us that if you become a pious worshipper of Allah, if you become a good Muslim, you become an extremist, a fundamental, a loser. This is what the world is telling us. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that this very path that these people tell you is Jannah, and this is the path of hellfire. If you say, no, let me mix with these people, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, this is the path where you are now trying to become like the kuffar. And this is clearly the path of hellfire. Another example that we find is the story of a baby who spoke from the cradle. And we are told that there were three who spoke from the cradle. One of them being this boy, and one of them also being Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. And so this boy was in the lap of his mother when a rider, a very handsome rider, came in beautiful clothes on a beautiful horse. Very posh, very rich man, handsome, good looking. And this boy was a baby. And his mother prayed to Allah that, oh Allah, I wish that my son would grow up to be just like him. And this boy looked up at his mother and said that, oh Allah, do not make me like this man. Then after a while, the mother and son saw that there was a slave girl who was being beaten by the people, and they were saying that this woman is a fornicator and that she is a thief. And they were throwing rocks and stones at her, and she was bleeding head to toe. And this woman, all she kept saying was that sufficient is Allah for me, and He is the best of guardians. She kept on repeating this. And the mother of that child said, oh Allah, never make my son like this woman who is being hated by the people so much. And they're all cursing him, abusing him and throwing rocks. Never make my son like this, so oppressed. And the son looked up at his mother and said, oh Allah, make me just like her. And in this confused state, the mother wondering why her son is saying these things, the son, who was a baby, explained that the good-looking man was a tyrant and an oppressive ruler. Never judge a book by its cover. Though he might look very good, though he might have all the wealth, but he's a tyrant and oppressive ruler who is disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is destined for hellfire. So he said that I asked Allah not to make me like him. And the girl who was accused of fornication and theft was completely innocent of the blame that was put on her, and she had put her trust in Allah, and she said that I wanted Allah to make me just like her, just as firm on Iman as she was. This is a comparison of success and failure in our eyes and in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.